Hi everyone, welcome to One Finance, and in this video we're going to cover Intel Corporation fundamental and technical analysis. Our quick disclaimer here, and our discussion points, the usual. We have fundamental, we have technical, we move to market update, and lastly we have our take on Intel, our outlook. So for the fundamental analysis, we have here figures as of January 13th. That's the last trading day of this week. And here we have Intel closed actually at $30 per share. That's around 0.59% down day on day. But if you're going to look at here, their third quarter 2022 revenue, we have 15 billion, but year on year, that's actually down by 15%. And here on the right side, I have here the yearly revenue versus net income. Their numbers for the revenue is actually not doing good. And if you're going to look at the net income, also not good. So if you're going to look at from 2022 high around, let's say 8 billion in second quarter, and then in fourth quarter, that actually went down to less than 3 billion for the net income. Now, for some of the financial ratios here, for the 5 year average sales revenue growth, that's around 5.80, still positive, that's good. For the 5 year net profit margin, that's 26.90. For the debt to equity ratio, that's 0.37, that's pretty low. And the 5 year PE ratio, the high of 14.80 and the low of 9.5. But if we're going to look at Intel's current PE ratio now is actually 9.35, which is um, below or near the level of the 5 year low for the historical PE ratio. And for the ROE, that's 14%. Now, here at the bottom table, I have here Intel versus competition. So, Intel book value per share is 24.20. The computed fair value of Maboy fund is around 35. The current price is around 30. That would give us an upside of at least less than uh, 20, 15, 20% from the current level. It's considered as undervalued, PE ratio of 9.35. Now, if we're going to look at the competition here, for AMD, the fair value versus the current price, it's still undervalued. For Broadcom, still undervalued. For ASML, that's current price is 659. It actually exceeded our fair value computation. For TSM also. Current price is 86 and fair value computation is around 80. So both of them, at the point of view of Maboy Find, is quite overvalued just a bit. Okay, but Intel has 9.35 P ratio, which is the most affordable, if you're going to look at here, the most affordable chip stock that you can own for probably for this year, 2023. All right, so we jump to technical analysis. Now, for the daily chart, we have here the current price is 30 and our identified key support is at 25. That's actually the 52 week, that's near the 52-week low. Key resistance for now is that same 30 level, and then we have the next one, we have 35 and $45 respectively. Now, for just a recap here, the pre-COVID level is actually around 65, and the bottom is around 45. So that's pretty quite far from where we are right now, the price of 30. Now, looking at some indicators, the moving average convergence divergence, or MACD, is actually showing sideways with downward bias. And for RSI, it's currently hovering 67 near overbought. So we may expect a downtrend momentum anytime soon, as some investors may take profit taking. And then for the weekly, if you're going to zoom out, that is the 25 level support that we saw here, and the resistance of 30. Here is a more clear visual of the 35 and the 45 level, uh, respectively. Now, for the MACD and RSI, if you're going to look at the weekly here, it's showing sideways with upward bias. For the RSI, it's just rebounded from oversold levels, but the upward momentum is quite weak. The current value is around 47. Okay, for market update and news. Now, Intel uh, has a lot of negative, what you call it, news or outlook for the past year. I would say past quarters because of their manufacturing delays and changing leadership. So if you're going to look at, they have very solid fundamentals, but the price is down because of the sentiment of the market. So here another this is another drag for the company. Intel's delay in delivering crucial new processors. So that's around 3 days ago. And we also have here some political issues. And a good thing here we have Hive deploys Intel's Bitcoin chips. And if you're going to look at the fastest CPU processor for now, that would give you the Core i9 13980HX. That's 24 cores or 13th generation processor of Intel. So this is the fastest, according to this article. That's around 5.6 gigahertz. Now, if we're going to look at the average processor, I think they have 3 gigahertz speed, boost maybe 4 to 5, but this one is actually sitting 5 without overclocking. So that's pretty good speed already for a mobile processor. So our outlook for the company, maintain long position for Intel. So we're here for the long term. Open position near the identified key levels. That's 25 range to 45. And then pros and cons of the CHIP Act of 2022. So we're going to keep an eye on the monitor or the implementation of this one. And then the upcoming fourth quarter 2022 earnings report will be on January 26th. And we have to monitor the discount factor. Again, we know the impact of the Fed's policy rate in terms of computation of our fair value. So we have to keep an eye on that. Easing rate hike by the Fed would give us a bit of hope for an upside for Intel. Now, our target for 2023 is around $40 per share. So I think that will give us around 20 or 30% upside uh, from the current levels that we have right now as of this review. So that's pretty much it for now. Thank you again for tuning in. And remember to like, share, and subscribe. And of course, follow us on eToro. Have a great day.